First of all, thank you for serving St. Patrick's as an acolyte. An acolyte is a person assisting the celebrant in a religious service. There are several age-appropriate acolyte positions, but all positions follow the same guidelines. First, serve when assigned and be prompt. You will be scheduled to serve once a month. Please make sure you don't have any conflicts and mark your calendars for those Sundays assigned. Should you have a conflict on the day assigned, then it will be your responsibility to find a replacement. Second, be vested properly and on time. Vestments are a chasuble or robe worn by the clergy or acolyte during the service. All vestments are kept in the acolyte choir room. You will wear a robe, a cincture, which is a long white rope worn with a slipknot to the left side, and a cross. Robes should hang at the top of your shoes, and you should dress nicely and choose appropriate shoes. Can you spot the properly dressed acolyte? How about the proper shoes? You will be asked to process and recess at the beginning and end of the service. When we process, it is at a slow and steady pace, with your head up and singing the hymn as you are able. Can you spot the proper way to process and recess? During a typical Sunday service, there are 5 acolyte positions. A crucifer, which is a person carrying the cross or crucifix in the procession, 2 torchbearers who carry the torches, a St. Patrick's banner carrier, and the server. It is important that you understand what position you are preparing to do and how to do that position. Let's look at them one at a time and explain the duties of each position. The crucifer will carry the crucifix or cross that stands at the back of the church to lead the procession. They should walk in a slow and stately manner down the aisle, pausing at the altar, waiting for the rest of the processional to gather. Since you will be carrying a cross, you do not bow. Simply stand in reverence of the altar, proceed to the right side of the altar, and place the cross in the stand. Then take a seat. For the Gospel reading, you will take the cross and lead the procession to the center of the aisle for the reading. Pausing at the altar, after the reading, you will lead the procession back. Pausing at the altar, then returning the cross back to the stand. During the recession, you will lead the procession of everyone from the altar to the back of the church to end the service. At the conclusion of the service, please return the cross to the stand at the back of the church, and then go to the acolyte choir room and remove and hang your vestments. Torchbearers will light the candles and the paschal candles using a candle lighter 10 minutes before the service. Gather the torches and return to the back of the church for the procession. The torchbearers accompany the cross. During procession, the torches will walk slowly and stately right behind the cross. The torches have stands to the right of the altar that will hold the torches during the service. During the Gospel reading, the torches will accompany the cross to the center aisle, always allowing the cross to lead the way. During the recessional hymn, the torchbearers will gather the snuffer and extinguish all the candles on the altar and torches at the right of the altar. Then you will walk in the recession without the torches. Stopping to bow at the altar before proceeding to the back of the church. The banner will gather the St. Patrick's banner before the procession and stand with it at the back of the church. The banner will follow the two torchbearers in the procession. After a slight pause at the altar, you will place the banner in the banner stand to the left of the altar. Then, take a seat by the priest or celebrant at the left side of the altar. The banner will remain at the left of the altar during the recession. You will recess behind the torchbearers at the end of the service. Servers have the largest amount of responsibility. During the procession, you will sing the opening hymn and process behind the banner to the front of the church. After bowing at the altar, you will then take a seat to the right of the altar, sitting closest to the credence table. During the Gospel, you will carry the Gospel book behind the cross and torchbearers to the center aisle. Hold the book facing the deacon for the reading. After the Gospel, process back to the altar behind the cross and torchbearers. Pausing at the altar, then placing the Gospel book back on the credence table. During the offering, you are responsible for assisting the deacon in setting the table for Holy Communion. First, give the altar book and stand from the credence table to the deacon. Next, give them the main chalice with purificator and corporal. Then, take the lavabo bowl and towel from the credence table and stand at the side of the altar stage. The deacon will bring you a pitcher of water. You will pour water onto the celebrant's hands into the bowl. Then, place the lavabo bowl and towel back on the credence table. Wait for the deacon to bring you the offertory and place it on the credence table as well. Be seated and watch the celebrant and deacon for any cues in case they need assistance. During Holy Communion, at the Sanctus, when we sing Holy, 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 hit the gong 3 times. Then, after the celebrant says, The gifts of God for the people of God. Take the extra basket and chalices with purificators from the credence table and place them on the altar. Typically, we need 2 baskets and 4 chalices total for the 10:30 a.m. service, 2 baskets and 2 chalices total for the 8:30 a.m. service. During the recession, sing the closing hymn, carrying the hymnal with you. Follow the cross and again pause and bow at the altar. The celebrant will say a closing prayer, and then the deacon will dismiss the congregation. During special services like Easter and Christmas, there are a few added acolyte positions. If you are assigned to those positions, then you will receive special instructions. In most positions, you will be prompted into action, so just relax and have fun. Should you have a question, even during service, don't be afraid to ask. And before you know it, you'll be a pro. Thank you for your service to St. Patrick's.